Hello, children. Welcome back again in online studies. So, today in English, we are going to learn about Unit 2, that is the poem The Tree Auntie Wanty Gongo Loop. So, we will just read out the poem. It is a very funny poem, and one funny insect is there, as you can see on page number 21. You also open your page number 21 and we will just read out the poem The Tree Auntie Wanty Gongo Loop, written by C. J. Dennis. There's a very funny insect that you do not often spy. And it isn't quite a spider and it isn't quite a fly. It is something like a beetle and little like a bee, but nothing like a woolly grub that climbs upon a tree. Its name is quite a hard one, but you will learn it soon. I hope so. Try. Tree, tree auntie wanty, tree auntie wanty gongo loop. It lives on weeds and wattle gum and has a funny face. Its appetite is hearty and its manners a disgrace. When first you come upon it, it will give you a quite a scare. But when you look for it again, you find it isn't there. And unless you call it softly, it will stay away and mope. So try tree, tree auntie wanty, tree auntie wanty gongo loop. Tree auntie wanty gongo loop. It trembles if you tickle it or tread upon its toes. It is not an early riser, but it has a snubbish nose. If you sneer at it or scold it, it will scuttle off in shame. But it purrs and purrs quite proudly if you call it by its name and offer it some sandwiches of sealing wax and soap. So try tree, tree auntie wanty, tree auntie wanty gongo loop. But of course, you haven't seen it, and I truthfully confess that I haven't seen it either, and I don't know its address. For there isn't such an insect. Thought there really might have been. If the trees and grass were purple and the sky was bottle green. It's just like a joke of mine which you will forgive, I hope. Oh, try, tree auntie, tree auntie wanty, tree auntie wanty gongo loop. So this is a funny story, funny poem. The humorous poem, The Tree Auntie Wanty Gongo Loop, written by C. J. Dennis, tickles the reader's funny bones and ushers laughter. The main character of this poem is a very funny insect with a very funny name. The poet describes its physical appearance, eating habits, and other activities. At the end of the poem, the poet surprises us by concluding that the insect is imaginary and does not exist. We are willing to forgive the poet for his prank. After all, didn't he make us laugh to our heart's content? Yes, for sure. So we will understand the poem again here. In the first para, the poet is telling us about there is a funny insect which is uh, often like a spy. Spy means he is taking all the events of Earth in account, and which is quite a spider. It looks like a spider and quite a fly. Spider plus fly. If we make it both together, how it will look? Likewise, the bird is looking like a beetle, like a bee. And a woolly grub is also on its body, and that climbs upon a tree. It is not flying on the tree, it is climb upon the tree, and its name is very hard. Its name, that insect's name is Triantivonti gongoloop. So it lives on the weed also, on the ground, wattle gum also, and it has a very funny face. Its appetite is hearty, means heart-shaped appetite it has, and its manners is disgrace, very disgrace it looks like. If you go near to it, you will be scared by looking towards it, because it is a very funny and it is scaring insects also. It is just an imaginary insect. When you look for it again, you will find it isn't there, means it is vanished from one place. Okay, if you look continuously towards it, unless you calls it softly Triantivonti gongoloop, it will not come to you again. In the third para, the poet tells us that it trembles if you also, and it will tread upon your toes. Okay, so it will tread upon means it will walk in a specific manner on your toes also, and it is not an early riser. In the morning it will not rise very early, and it has a very snubbish nose. If you sneer it, then scold it. If you scold on it, then it will scuttle off in shame. Okay, scuttle means very run hurriedly, and it purrs very quietly and proudly if you call it by its name, the Triantivonti gongoloop. And if you offer it sandwiches and sealing wax and soap, then also it will take. Okay, but of course, in the fourth para, we will see that you haven't seen any insect like this. Truthfully, the poet is confessing that he has also not seen any insect like that, and he also don't know its address also, and he is telling it that such an insect is not there in reality. It is just a real when the grass color will be purple and the sky color will be bottle green, means it will not happen anymore, as he has described here about the insect. The poet is making little joke, and for that prank, the poet is asking us to forgive him. So the name of the insect is very funny, like Triantivonti gongoloop. Okay, so read out the poem and just enjoy it. So the activity are also given over here on page number 22, that is the think of the other funny names of imaginary creature of your own and write any three of them. As the poet has told us one name of the insect, Triantivonti gongoloop, likewise you have to think about the three funny names of your imaginary creature. It can be animal, it can be bird, it can be insect, anything. Okay, so I hope you will read out this poem, and this poem is just for an activity, nothing is to learn from it, and whatever the notes of it, you will get it on the WhatsApp group. So till then, read out the poem, write down the hard words, learn it, and enjoy it.